Okay.
Hello, and welcome to...
That's my line.
I roped into this!
Hello, and welcome to my video that I roped my life into.
I'm just here.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Giles.
I'm Tucker.
I'm Jonathan Giles. Alright, we are back. Today I am joined by Tucker and Jennifer, and my niece Holly. She inspired me for this.
Yes.
Because she was talking about why Beauty and the Beast wasn't in my top 5 shows. So this is an all Disney show.
Animated Disney.
Animated Disney. It can
Otherwise
be
you gotta
animated and
include
live.
all the Marvels,
You know,
and all the Star Wars, and every other franchise they
Bedknobs and
bought up.
Broomsticks
20th
would
Century
count.
Fox and everything they bought.
Bedknobs and Broomsticks would count.
But it's not on our list. But it's a good show.
Every locomotion. Okay.
Anyway.
But it's a great show. Okay, we are going to go through
This is
our
not
top
Disney,
5,
but
and then
loud.
we are also going to give a dishonorable mention to the Disney show that we don't like.
And why?
And why. And we all have almost different shows that we don't like. And so,
different.
but Tucker is going to start us off with his number 5 Disney show of all time.
Alright, and my number 5 is Brave. It's about...
It made my top 8.
That was a good
Yeah.
show.
It was a great
It's
show.
the Scottish, or
Yeah.
Gaelic.
Gaelish.
I'm sorry.
Yes, it is Scottish Gaelic.
Anyway,
Scottish.
I liked it. It was fun. It's kind of like a D&D adventure, you know.
Okay.
A level 1 character who's going out, and, you know, it's the old, you know, save the kingdom kind of thing. And then I think the humor from her dad and her brothers, it's just funny. Like when her dad does the impersonation of Merida. I want to ride away on my horse and feel the wind in my hair, and he's like this huge dude. Yeah, and it's just like, okay.
Well,
So-
that is a worthy number 5.
Yeah.
That is.
I approve of that one. Jen, what is your number 5?
I did Tarzan
Tarzan.
because Disney's Tarzan was just fun. And then you have Phil Collins who did the music for it. I mean, automatically a win. But 'tis highly quotable. I find myself singing the songs quite often, and it doesn't matter how many times I've watched it. It's still a good movie. So it made my number 5.
It is a great show. I like that one.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 5 is Robin Hood. And I grew up with this show, watching it, loving it, singing it. Just the show was awesome. And it's part of my childhood, and I'm still a child, so it's still a part of my life.
He still sings it.
And so I sing it all the time. I was singing it right before we turned the camera on, but I'm not going to sing it for you this time.
When I have to run into the grocery store quickly, and you and I have been in the car for whatever reason, when it's just me, and I'm hustling in to get one item, I'm like, Robin Hood and Little John running through the forest, jumping fences, dodging trees, trying to get away. And I don't know why it runs through my head, but I have a speed shopping theme song because of that movie.
That is awesome. Okay, that was number 5. Number 4.
Alright, number 4 is Emperor's New Groove, which, yeah. Never mind that. I don't know where I was going with that.
Just tell us your reasoning for it.
Why is it on your list?
Because Cusco is just funny. I mean, he's, you know, the spoiled brat who...
No touchy.
yeah,
Ooh,
no touchy. Like, he's got all these, I don't know, peeves. He's like, no touching and no talking and...
He's just spoiled.
Just spoiled, yeah. And, I don't know, Yzma's like the nanny who's just fed up with all his crap. And so, she's... I mean, she's the advisor or whatever, but, I mean, it hints like that she was taking care of him in some way. Like, she's had to deal with him for a long time, and she's done.
Yeah.
And it's just funny, because I feel like one day my mother might lose it, and...
I gave you 3 options. Go to school, go on a mission, get a job. But I was sick of you sitting around. He's an excellent missionary, I would like to say.
Hey, you're number 4.
My number 4 used to be my number 1 of all time. So as of today, the mood I was in, it made my number 4. It is Disney's Sleeping Beauty. And no, I don't like pink. I make everything blue, if you can see the walls behind us. But I love the art style. The Gothic art style is incredibly intriguing to me. It's the beginning of the Renaissance when you look at artwork and construction. But also the story is just fun. And we were talking about this earlier. It's one of the earlier movies where villains were actually allowed to say mean things. Now in a Disney movie, it's like, oh, shame. I might take your participation trophy. Although Mother Gothel is pretty creepy. But,
Yeah.
I mean, she gets so mad that they've been searching for a baby for Aurora's whole life, and she's like, fools! And, like, epic magic and crap happens. And there's a dragon, a Welsh dragon, can't go wrong. And the three good fairies are pretty bumbling idiots as humans, and I like it.
They are awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 4, The Lion King. Now, a lot of people, this is like their favorite, and it's a fantastic show. I love the animation, I love the music, I love the characters. You mix everything together, and it is an amazing show. Just love it.
It is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So number 3.
Number 3 is Atlantis, The Lost Empire. And pretty sure at one point that this was also a number 1 for me. It's one of the ones that
You watched a lot.
Yeah, watched a lot, and in the previous video I mentioned Treasure Planet, the VHS got worn out, and that was on that same shelf of the worn out VHSs that I watched. But it's one that inspired the whole I want to be an archaeologist and dig holes in the backyard and look for dinosaurs, and there were no dinosaurs, unfortunately.
Yeah, but you did take up the backyard a lot.
Yeah, but definitely a cool movie, and one that still fun to
get
watch.
a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. The heart of Atlantis lies in the eyes of our king.
Yeah, that was
And
fun.
then crap happens, and you're just like, what? It's
Yeah,
a good movie.
an underground hot air balloon through a volcanic tube. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah,
that was
it
interesting.
definitely. Kind of the precursor to the journey to the center of the earth,
Yeah,
Dino Skull, Vesuvius type thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
and Mole was just weird.
Yes.
You're number 3.
Emperor's New Groove. Because look at me and my bad self. I snatched you right out of the air. David Spade does a lot of comedy, and his movies, typically he is not the star. He's the co-star. He's the buffoon, the slapstick
Comedy
kind
relief.
of, yeah. And his live performances are incredibly profane, so I wouldn't go to them because while I might drop a hell or a damn on a regular basis, sorry everyone out there, we're talking like sailor's blush. So to have him in a movie where the language was restrained and he actually got to be the star, and his sarcasm, it was awesome.
It's an amazing show.
Yeah.
And my number 3 is The Little Mermaid. I loved The Little Mermaid. We went and saw this as a family on, I want to say it was Thanksgiving, back in '89, I believe, when it came out. My dad took us all to see it along with Fran and everybody. We went to the theater and saw it, and I fell in love with the show. It was amazing. The music was some of the best ever put into a show. The music's fantastic. The villain was awesome. She was just
Ursula is so
she was so
evil.
despicable, but she was so cool.
Yes. Well, and I was in elementary school when that came out. I didn't see it in the theater, but my cousins had bought the VHS. I'd never seen it, and I was out. Honestly, my aunt had made the dirt clog, we call them the no-bake chocolate peanut butter cookies, and I'd gone out to the kitchen to get another one, and she starts singing I think it was the Gadgets and Gizmo song, "Look at this stuff, isn't it neat?" I was so just stricken by her voice. I had never heard something like that before.
She was
To the point
amazing.
where I remember dropping the cookie back on the plate and bolting to the family room to be like, who is this? It was so cool. And then to find out she was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was young.
She was what, 16 when she did it?
Yeah, 16 when she did
Yeah.
the show.
That was pretty awesome. Okay, number 2.
Number 2 is The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
All right, I can't remember. My
Depends
brain
on
is.
whether you're French or American.
So,
So
and
Yeah.
why is that one of your favorites? What's the high points of that show?
In Quasimodo being, disabled. I mean, he's hunched, deformed. He's got imaginary friends. He's bullied by people and then manipulated almost, I guess, by Frollo. It's something you're not seeing a lot anymore with Disney movies. A character who is, for a lot of the time, for most of their lives, like they're the weak one, they're the picked on one, they're
victimized.
Yeah, they're victimized
the whole time.
and
Yeah.
so it was relatable. My mom would call me Quasimodo a lot because I'm hunched and it happens a lot. I'm working on it.
I'm not a
alright?
terrible mom. He can stand up straight.
Yes.
He just won't.
I will say something for
And he's an
Hunchback of
adult.
Notre Dame. It was amazing. The first time they made a cartoon character hot. I mean, I'm sorry,
Esmeralda.
Yeah.
was like,
So you empathized with Frollo there, where he was getting his twisted
Yes.
little
Oh,
fantasies.
yes.
Well, okay, and then
absolutely.
Frollo.
That's just
He was-
gross.
I mean,
I
he
mean, I
messed
get
up.
it.
she was
but-
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Frollo was messed up, but he was evil. Like the song. Ooh,
Yeah.
man! Like I was like,
Yeah, the music in that was good too.
yeah, like Disney. You know, you think happy movies, and
It's
like up to
fire.
that, it was like that.
Hell's fire.
Yeah, and then seeing this, I'm like, whoa!
Well, and even
Disney's
though,
evil.
like, back to Robin Hood,
Mm.
you know, there's a friar and there's church and stuff. It was a truly religious movie. I remember being struck by the fact that she sings the song "God Bless the Outcasts,"
Yeah.
and saying at the end, the final refrain is, "I thought we all were children of God."
Mhm.
Even then, it was not okay to talk about religion in movies. It was already starting to hit that. Well, in Disney movies.
That was made in 1973.
What, Hunchback?
No, Robin Hood.
Robin Hood. I'm talking about Hunchback.
being-
Oh,
Because
Yeah,
now
no,
we're
even
talking
then.
like I was in high
oh well,
school.
that kind of goes with the whole. I mean, it's Notre Dame. I mean,
Right.
Yeah,
but
but
I'm
the whole
saying
premise.
I was
is
in
pretty
Right,
high
but
school by
putting
then,
it right
and
there.
so to have
Yeah.
a religious children's movie that wasn't marketed for a church, it wasn't,
Right.
you know, it was specifically meant to be all audiences, and to have it so distinctly religious was shocking and cool.
Mhm.
And that stained glass window, can we just say, wow.
Which just makes it all the more sad with what happened in Notre Dame.
One of the fire
Yeah,
this
that's-
year.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is, I'll never get to see it in its original state.
I know. It's
Yeah.
horrible.
That's sad.
Okay,
Sorry, that was a long
what are
one.
we
It's
on?
number two. Yep.
Number two.
Disney's Enchanted. Because
Yeah.
seriously, humming cockroaches. What?
Cleanup song.
So I have, yeah, the cleanup song. I have seen had seen up to this point, Amy Adams in a few movies, and she's a great actress and very talented. I did not know that she could sing. Didn't know that she could play so well to invisible characters, because like she's talking to the one-legged pigeon and you know all of these things, singing to him, and yet she just makes it work. And then the process of watching her go from this almost idiotic,
Naive.
overly cartoony, like when Edward comes through and he's got the huge puffy sleeves and stuff, when they did that with James Marsden, but she goes from being, you know, classic early 1960s Disney princess into more the movies that were coming out when I was little, to at the end she's got the sleek dress and she chooses to stay in reality and not go back to Andalasia because she grew up. So it's fun to see this coming of age along with the ridiculous, like, the cutting the curtains and making the dress. I have that pattern, and when I'm thin again, I will make that dress, not the big puffy one.
And
The
another
blue
thing I
one.
loved about that show is they had the other princesses in the show.
They did!
Yeah, the
Like
Little
when she
Mermaid's
has
in it.
the secretary, his assistant,
Yeah.
and when she takes the teacup and has the fish in it and spits it out, and she's like, oh, that's actually the voice of Ariel, and I can't remember her name right now. And then you have Belle. How could I love a man who doesn't even like himself? And you hear
Yeah,
the
she's in that soap opera, right?
yeah, in the soap opera, and you hear the intro to Beauty and the Beast playing in the background, and yeah, so many little Disney Easter eggs now. But it was just fun. But the cockroaches coming out, and she rocked that.
Didn't we see that in the theater?
Yes, that was one I paid money and took all the kids to because
Yeah, cockroaches are
Totally
those
worth
freaked
it.
her out. It was awesome.
it was great. Okay.
Alright, so my number two, Emperor's New Groove. I put mine higher than they did because
Yeah.
it deserves to be.
Mine was
That
a
is-
higher number.
That is arguably the best Disney show ever made. I mean, I did put one higher than it, but Emperor's New Groove cracked me up. I remember we rented it. I wouldn't see it in the theater because I was getting tired of Disney pushing out movie after movie after movie.
Like almost every year.
Yeah, and so when that came out, I was just like, whatever. And then I came home, and they had it in the VCR, and I was just shocked. I watched a scene of it, and I had to walk away so I could watch it from the beginning. And then when I did, I just fell in love with it. That was the funniest, greatest, awesome show that I had watched. I mean, at that point, I was just like, this is amazing.
We still quote it. Like, when one of the kids has a tantrum about something, I'm like, no, turn that off and go finish cleaning your room, do homework, whatever. And they get all mad. I was like, I'm sorry, but you've thrown off the Emperor's Groove.
Well, and then Llama Face is...
Llama Face!
That happens a lot.
That does, actually.
And I have to agree with you on David Spade.
Yes.
Because I do not like him. He's funny, but he's just not that funny. I think he was better on Saturday Night Live than he was in his movies. But
he's never the star of his movies.
But then he did Emperor's New Groove, and I love him now.
Yeah.
So, pretty awesome.
It's like, when given the chance to lead, he did stand out.
He did.
He was always the angry little sidekick in every movie. It was good.
He did such a good job. Okay, now we're on to number 1.
Mm-hmm.
The best Disney animated shows ever.
Yes. And mine is Lilo and Stitch. Because
Nice.
I wanted a dog, and Stitch was the best dog you could have. He was a six-legged freak who climbed walls and had a mouth that went around his head. I mean...
Hi.
Thank you! And, like, the weird nonsense he says, like, what is it, Shuta naga twista, like, all this nonsense, who comes up with it?
So it is a monster. A little one. Yes.
Jumba and Bleakley were, like, the weird uncles. And I've got weird uncles, so it just made it all that more funny.
I'm not going to comment as to which relatives I think he means.
Because some relatives may be watching, but yes, you know who you are.
Weird uncles.
But it was just, it was funny, and even now it's like,
Hi, Chris.
Sorry.
I love you.
But, like, when we were in Texas, we had a great day in Orion, and honestly, he and Stitch have a lot in common. They're just spaz and funny.
That's fair.
And they'll calm down, and they'll be like that scene where she puts the lei on him, and they'll just relax and be couch potatoes and be mellow.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're running on the walls and ceiling, and they're like licking your face and trying to eat somebody, and never a dull moment. So yeah.
That is a fun show.
Yeah.
That is.
So, yeah. Stitch is the best.
Uh-oh.
Okay, dear, your number 1 movie.
Hold on. I have, like, screwed up here.
Did you lose it?
Well, I already know what
Right.
it's not hard. Okay. So, but he gave me a photo reference, and I accidentally closed it. So, anyway, Tangled. Because Tangled, I saw that, and like Enchanted, I've watched it more than my kids have, because I would put it in and watch it without them. I mean, Mother Gothel she's mean. She's despicable. You truly do loathe her at times, but watching the process, as I just totally had a brain fart and forgot her name. Eugene
Rapunzel?
and Rapunzel. Oh my gosh! As she comes to realize who she is and her adventure out, and her crazy mood swings when she finally leaves the tower. She's so excited, and then she feels terrible at what it's going to do to her mother, and then she can't wait to get going and find the floating stars, and then she's just like, what have I done? And it was definitely entertaining. But in true Disney princess fashion, everywhere she goes, people are happier, things work out great, and Flynn Rider just can't figure out what the heck is going on. And then
I feel like he's the victim for a lot of that movie. He's like, what is going on?
Yes, but he brought it on himself, which is pretty funny. But then the amount of memes that were generated from, I have magic hair that glows when I sing, have only entrenched that movie as one of my top favorites.
And frying
She
pans.
probably did more for frying pans.
Oh my
than
gosh.
any show.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Who knew? Yeah.
Well, like,
Everybody
and
has a frying pan.
well, then, like, the what's the horse? Maximus?
Yes.
Like, the deadpan face he gets throughout the movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So many memes of
I
that.
feel like Achilles in Hunchback was the precursor to Maximus.
Yes, and
in
what's the other
Tangled.
one? There was another one.
Well, there's several, but when
I
he's
know.
like, Achilles, sit, or when he wants him to stop, Achilles, heel.
Yeah.
Ah, so funny.
But wasn't that in
But-
Hercules? Is it in Hercules where they do that too?
No, well that's different. But
yeah, but still Disney. And,
yeah, the horse. He's his own character. But yeah, frying pans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
frying
Forgot
pans.
about that. It was
That was an awesome show.
flipping cool.
Love that show.
So,
We need that one on Blu-ray.
do.
We need a lot in Blu-ray.
I know.
yeah.
Every time we go into Walmart, we look at the Disney section. and
We're like,
we need
if we had money, we could buy these.
All right, John. Number
Yeah.
one.
Okay, number one,
We all know this.
Holly. You know what it is. What is it, guys?
Beauty and the Beast.
Come on, you cannot get better than the Beauty and the Beast. You cannot make a better show than that because it was the ultimate show. The ultimate good versus evil. Gaston was a jerk and he was awesome.
And stupid.
And stupid.
Oh, yeah, he
So
was-
stupid.
Well, of course he was stupid. But Belle, has there ever been a better princess character? She's counted as a princess, by the way.
Yeah,
They
because
put
she
her-
marries a prince.
Yeah.
She marries Adam.
Well, then doesn't she? Because he would be king then. She'd be a queen. She'd skip the whole princess.
Well,
thing.
he's not king of
Well,
all
isn't
France.
it the whole
Nah,
friendship
whatever.
revolution
He's just
thing?
king.
So
He
he'd
can
be
take
a
it
duke
over.
and she'd be a duchess,
But-
and then they get decapitated.
But Belle was Belle was amazing. She was gorgeous. She was smart. She was intelligent. She had a bookshelf she
the size of a
read.
house.
She got
read,
ideas and
she
started thinking.
Yeah. She was amazing. She is what all women should aspire to. That's why I married this woman.
Oh, why, thank you.
'Cause
Now,
she's awesome.
if we were to pan over, he has an entire shelf full of like Beauty and the Beast stuff, which the collection actually started because his niece Adriana asked him what Uncle John wanted for Christmas one year, and he said a hot babe because he was single. Like, I didn't even know him, and she got him a Belle in a box. It's one of the Barbie dolls,
That
and
was awesome.
thus started his collection of Beauty and the Beast
Thank you,
things.
Adriana.
Yes,
I love
thank
you.
you. And in fact, my wedding ring is it's like rose leaves up the sides, and then it's not a diamond, it's a morganite, so it's a peachy pink. So it's like a little rose sitting there. So it's not wearing it right now.
But that is my number one show, and it deserves it. It's the best Disney show ever made. Flat out.
It's up there.
It should be everyone's number one.
Eh.
I felt bad kicking it off my top 5 list, but we weren't able to do a top 10
Problem is you could do a
it
top
would
20
yeah.
easily.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but
Disney.
top 10 I would have had Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid.
So many good shows.
Yeah.
Treasure Planet again.
Okay,
Maybe.
but now what
Well,
we
you
have
would've.
done,
Yeah.
that is our top 5. We love those shows, and like I said, these lists can kind of change around.
Depends
Although
on
my
what
number
mood you're
1
in.
and 2 never change.
Yeah, that's true.
Beauty and the Beast, Emperor's New Groove, those are number 1 and 2 always and forever. But we decided, what is our least favorite Disney show?
So
Our
we're going to
least
do
favorite.
you, then me.
Okay.
Okay.
For
Tucker,
reasons
tell
that
us
will
your
soon be
least
known.
favorite Disney show and why.
And mine is The Black Cauldron. And when did it come out? It was.
I don't know, it's old.
It's old.
That
So
was a while ago.
probably a fair portion of you might not have heard of it. It's part of a series of books by Lloyd Alexander called The Pride and Chronicles. The books are amazing. They are one of the first full series chapter books I think I read.
Well, and for those of you who understand the award system for children's literature, the first book is a Silver Newbery winner, so second place book of all time
Keep talking.
for the year. And the fifth book is The High King is the gold medal Newbery winner for its publication year. So these are incredible books. They're an easy read, short series,
Super fun.
but the movie does not do them justice at
And
all.
One of the big reasons for that for me, one of the characters, Gurgi, is basically a small Sasquatch, and he's one of the companions of the main character, Tarzan.
I don't know that he's that small, but
It-
he's big.
Yeah,
He's big.
I can't remember. It's been a while since I read them. I need to read them again.
He's
But
bigger than the men. So
everything he says is in rhymes, pretty much. So when he wants to eat something, he wants munchings and crunchings, and he ends up getting this magical bag that's full of food, or full of his favorite food.
he's so happy.
And he loses his mind. It's like a kid at a candy store, and they're like they have a funnel and just sugar coming in. He's like so happy. And so you have this character who's, a Sasquatch, but he's your best friend. But he's fully capable of like taking out bad guys because
He's
he'll like
very
climb trees and jump on people and beat 'em up.
Sweet and naive. He's
Yeah.
a very innocent character, but
And the
he's
movie
big.
makes him like we say Shih Tzu, but he's more like a
He's like a little sheepdog, but they made
Yeah,
him
a dog.
like a puppy, like a dog.
You take one of the funniest characters, and he's just a dog.
And part of his humor is that he is so large,
Yeah.
but so childlike in the books,
Mhm.
and then they made him a
Yeah.
dog.
The thing is, they hold Disney accountable for that the way that my sister holds Peter Jackson accountable for Faramir's character. It's that drastic.
Well, here's
But
the
we've
thing.
talked about that. Faramir's 5 minutes of screen time in 9 hours of movie,
right.
but it's the entire Black Cauldron movie.
No, but I'm
Well-
saying that that's the level of
Well,
hatred
here's
you
the
have
thing.
for it.
Because
Yes.
from what I could find, it seems that Disney bought the rights to the Lloyd Alexander estate, so they could remake and do the whole series as movies. Why they haven't, I don't know, but I really want to see an angry little Gurky with his bag of munchings and crunchings.
We'll probably put a Shih Tzu again and make you really mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, they supposedly they own it, and if they don't do it,
Yes.
yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to do mine, but before that, I want to show you my doll.
His hot babe.
This
He's
is my
probably
hot babe.
glaring from
My
the
niece
light.
asked me what to give me for Christmas. I said a hot babe, and she got me this. She's a smart woman. My niece is incredibly smart.
Yep.
So, pretty awesome. Thanks, Adriana.
All right, and your dishonorable
Okay,
mention.
my dishonorable mention is
Sir John.
Frozen. I hate Frozen with a passion. Not just a passion. I wanted to die. I wanted to melt away and die.
Let it go.
You beat me to it.
We agree.
I do not like the music in it.
Terrible
I do not like anything really about it. The show is just kind of dumb, and yet
And the magic trolls are so weird
Yeah.
in a
Yeah.
Norse fairy
and
tale.
how this was one of their top money makers, I do not know.
Sequel is coming.
The sequel's coming, and it will probably be the top money maker ever because people don't know quality when they see it.
It's been too long without a good movie.
Yeah,
Or people will buy anything.
Well, that
or
too.
people will buy anything.
Chicks my size in booty shorts. Think about it. People will buy anything.
Anyway, we're talking about Disney shows here, okay?
I'm just saying, it's appalling.
Yeah, but yeah, Frozen for me, the bottom of the whole thing. I mean, it's just no. I would rather eat dirt.
Were
And
you
watch
able
Frozen.
to even sit through it the
Yeah.
first time? You saw it?
Your kids made me sit through it,
Yeah, you were at my house.
and I sat through it, and afterwards I went, oh, that's nice.
You could tell you were not enjoying it.
Yeah, no. But yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I hope I didn't make too many enemies, maybe just a few. Okay, dear. Your number one despised Disney.
If you didn't already figure it out, it is also Disney's version of the Black Cauldron. Yes, what he said. What he said about Gurgi. But I find frustration with so many elements of the story. To tell you how much I enjoyed the Prydain Chronicles, and I hadn't heard of them before, which is surprising because I like children's lit. It was actually the kid's dad who told me about them. They were the only books he'd read in high school, so he had them. And I read through the entire series in about a day, so they're a quick read. But they were so much fun that 2 of my children are named after characters from that series.
Hey, Gurgi, stop it off. Stop that.
That's Taran. He's the
Oh,
main character.
Can I just say that would have made childhood a lot more fun? Because Halloween, we would have been dressing him up as Gurgi.
We've got some
Guaranteed.
munchings and crunchings over here for you.
Hey,
Yes.
when we were considering changing your name, you almost became Gwydion, so be careful.
But he is
But he's
amazing.
Right. So, anyway, there's pronunciations that are wrong on the names and stuff because they're Welsh and Scottish names.
So no one can
And
pronounce
so nobody can pronounce them. But they also made, because Taran is very young, he's a child, so is Islandwy. But with her, she is older than him. She has some, I don't want to spoil the books, but she has magic. She's a princess of the House of Lear. And so even when Taran first meets her, she is capable of more things than they did in the movies. They simplified her, and I don't know if it was to me it seems like it was the times that a woman couldn't be smarter and more powerful than your main character, because she's awesome, guys.
Yeah. She's,
So My thing is, I would like to see them redo the movies. There are things they did well about it. It is a very simple animation, but I would like to see them put the effort in that they have done with like crazy magic trolls in Frozen, and
Yeah, at least do
some
that.
justice
You'd have
to
a
these
very good
books,
movie.
because there's truly evil characters. There's darkness, and much like the Marvel movies that have built on Norse mythology, there's a lot of history there. There's a lot to play with for context. And the movie, the first time I saw it, I was so pissed I had to walk away. And so then I was like, I'm going to see this through. And I sat down and I watched it, and I was just as angry as the first time. I was like, why? Why would they do it like that? So that's my dishonorable mention for Disney.
So that is our top 5 favorites and our dishonorable mention. If you agree, disagree, whatever,
Wait.
leave us a comment. Let us know your favorites and which ones you were disappointed in.
Exactly. You don't have to argue with us,
No, you can argue with us, but
You
you're
can.
wrong.
but we would love to know what your favorites are. So,
Yeah. Any last words?
Hello.
Nope.
No?
Thanks for watching.
So
Oh,
that-
and shout out to Bailey. She's amazing. The Women's Council of Realtors did a 5K fundraiser for her, little 6-year-old girl who's been fighting cancer the past year, and she is awesome. So hope all is well, Bailey.
So help her out by buying a house.
Yeah, well, okay, there's that. I'm Jennifer Giles, 100-time realtor.
Goodbye.
All right.